Hi, as I welcome you to this course, Comprehensive Understanding of Stock Market for Beginners, let me give you a preview of what to expect from this course. I have structured this course into 4 sections. The first section is Know the Stock Market as a Play Field. The second one is Knowing the Players and How They Play the Game. The third one is about knowing the parameters and the rules of the game. And then we have a section for add-on lessons. Let me explain. The first section, know the stock market as a playing field. Here I have tried to describe the stock market as a playing field. First of all, knowing what you do. Most of us just jump into the stock market, start investing or trading without actually knowing what we are doing. So we'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about the concept of a share, equity and debt. Thereafter something about shareholders, shareholding and the capital structure of a company. Then the concept of an initial public offer, a follow-on public offer and how their pricing is done. Then we'll talk about the concept of profit, dividend and growth. Then the primary and the secondary market and how a trade happens in the market. Then we'll talk something about the depository participant, the clearing house, and how do we start investing in a stock market. Then the logic of the market price fluctuation and how to place a buy and sell order. The market price keeps fluctuating. We'll try and understand the logic of that. Then in section 2, we shall try to understand and become familiar with the players of the stock market and how they play the game. You see, when you enter the stock market as an investor, you are not the only one in the stock market. There are many other people with different intentions, different agenda, and they influence the stock price in different manner. Various players affect the stock price in different manners. We'll talk about the investor and the trader who are the main players. Then we'll talk about something known as arbitrator. Who are these people? What do they do? Then something about a hedger or the hedge funds as we normally call them. And then something about the big players like the financial institutions, the foreign institutional investors, the domestic institutional investors, and some high net worth individuals. Then we'll talk about some players who play from behind the curtain, like the news channels, some analysts and panelists on discussions over the news channels. And then something about this person called as the speculator. Really, I did not want to speak about speculation, but I think you must know about it. Therefore, as a second thought, I included that. Then in the third section, we'll talk about some parameters and rules of the game. When you enter the stock market, you should know certain things. In the first step, we shall talk about what role would you like to play. Like we have seen about various players in the previous section. In this section, we will decide what role you would like to play. A trader or an investor. Alright. And then we shall talk something about the fundamental analysis. And within the fundamental analysis, we shall talk something about the significance of financial statements, then the stock parameters and some ratios of the stocks. Then we'll talk something about the technical analysis. And within technical analysis, we'll talk about the candlestick charts and patterns, their significance, and some technical indicators. And then we will also talk about derivatives and risk management using these derivatives. Something about futures, options and hedging. But please remember that I will be giving you only a broad-based knowledge about these things. I will not be going into too much of detail Obviously, because these are specialized topics, we have separate courses on these subjects. But just as a general understanding for you to set your mind thinking, we will be talking about these things. So once you go through this, do not be disappointed that I have not talked about them in detail. If you want to understand in detail, then for each of these things we have a separate course. Alright? Then this last section called as add-on lessons. Now this is something, a new concept I want to try. What I believe is that a stock market is a never ending story. This is a subject which can never be complete. Focused courses can be completed, but talking general about the stock market can never be complete. But I have to end somewhere. So therefore what I have done is, in this section, my intention is to encourage students to ask me questions. And then I would post my answers to their questions in the form of small video lessons in this add-on section. So over a period of time, this section will keep on building up. As the students keep asking me questions, this section will keep on building in the form of my answers. And if the student asking a question provides me her or his name, photograph, and the country of residence, and if they permit me to, display these things in the answers, I will be very happy to do that. But I request that the questions should be related to the stock market and should be knowledge seeking questions. Please do not ask me tips and tricks or recommendations about some particular stocks or things like that. Ask me general questions which, look towards seeking knowledge, not tips. So we begin this section actually empty, without any lessons. But as my students keep asking me questions, this story will continue. So let us begin with this course now.